The anointing gonna cost you something. The anointing is like you being in a rubber company and the manufacturer want to see how much elasticity you got, wants to find your breaking point to see how much you can stand. Baby, you don't put Michelin's on the ground till they find out where they bust at. You don't put Michelin's on the ground. Y'all ain't gonna let me preach. Until they find out how much pressure.
Yes, sir. Preach the word. Thank you, Lord.
The anointing, what would it cost? And they ain't gonna kill you. Anybody here have a meal dough to make flour bread, to make flour? Beat it, roll it, beat it some more, throw it down, throw some more dry flour, get your cut out, stamp out a shape of a biscuit that don't look like you. And you didn't even put me in the stove yet. Ziklag. Now, if it wasn't bad enough that the enemy turns against him, everybody that loved him, that he know loved him, want to stone him. All of his mighty men that's been in one fight after another. Now they want to stone him. You know why? Because this ain't about their anointing. They're anointed to follow. You anointed to lead. What you gonna do now, David? All your cut buddies, your homies, folks that said they love you through thick and thin, they do. As soon as it got thick, they got thin. Y'all have some people like that in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
They'll look at what the enemy has done and they'll begin to judge you by the hand of the enemy rather than judge you by the hand of God. Baby, don't let your current condition determine where God is saying he's taking you. God didn't cancel the ticket. You just ain't on the 747. He decided he wants you to walk through the swamp. See, we want to tell God how we want to travel. Because I serve the true and the living God. I'm first class all the way. God made heaven and earth. The swamp can be God's first class today. Ask Joseph. He got to his destiny going through a ditch. I'm almost there. Ziklag.
Thank you, Lord.
David can't talk to his best friend because they're mad with him. Sometimes you don't got anybody to call. They call ID, and David at least could say, you know, get a chance to see them turn their back on him. Y'all don't get to see him today. But baby, once you pop up on the caller ID, and if the one that came on the phone don't work good enough, we download another one. But sometimes the one that comes standing ain't good enough. So they got an app for that. Then we'll block you now. Phone go ring, be going straight. You don't even have to answer. You don't even have to be bothered. You got see all of that. They block David. You don't want to hear it. We've been following you, and now our wives and our children gone. But look at David. You would think that he would turn his back, but David realized. He said, "Bring me the ephod." Rather than me push back from God, let me get closer. Bring me the ephod. He then began to say to God, the Bible says that first though he had wept till he couldn't weep no more. Any of y'all ever shed any tears?
Amen.
God said, just finish crying. I'm going to put all these in a bottle. And when you finish crying, we'll get down to business. Put these in a bottle for you. I don't need them. So you may have some other occasion to cry. I won't have to make you no new tears. I just give you all the tears back. When he asked God, he said, God, shall I pursue? Look at what the anointing is doing. It's causing him to have restraints when he don't want to have restraints. Y'all know how y'all would be. Y'all would just want to take off. Somebody that did something at your crib. Y'all call a neighbor and 2 more folk that you pretty close to and said, I'm strapped, you get strapped, let's ride and die. God could have said, I know you ain't got no strap, you can't get strapped. Do you know what that is? You do know what that is? We gon' pursue. And if I catch you with my stuff, I'm gonna get as much of it as I can back. Listen to what David did. David said, oh Lord, shall I pursue? He said, I can only imagine God. Look over and tell him, you messed up. You have really messed up now. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because you touched my anointing. God let trouble come to set up the next thing that he was getting ready to do in David's life. Tell your neighbor, sometimes trouble is a setup. It's a setup for God to pull the wool off of the enemy. He said, don't just pursue, but pursue and recover all. Hold on a minute. Because see, we'll think that God's talking about just all of your stuff. That's not what God's talking about. God's talking about stuff he took from grandmama, stuff he took from granddaddy. God ain't gonna let me preach to you. When God said get it all, he means get it all. Philistines and those Amorites and Amalekites been messing around in your family for a long time. They got some stuff that you don't even know about. But it's your anointing that's going to get it back. It's your anointing that's going to destroy the yoke. It's your anointing. What will it cost? 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 Can God trust you with something? What will it cost? What will it cost? You're going to find out more next week about the anointing. What will it cost? There may be somebody in here today and you need God in your life.
Thank you, Lord.
You need to learn to hear him.
Thank you, Lord.
You need him to speak a word into your soul today.
Thank you, Lord.
He's calling you out of darkness
Thank you, Lord.
to light. If that's you, you ought to meet me at this altar and say, I want to surrender my life to Jesus today. The moment you give your life to him, He anoints you. He anoints you for salvation. He changes the very course of your life.
Yes,
he messes up the plan of the enemy. Who remembers the Etch-a-Sketch? You remember Etch-a-Sketch? You sit there and draw things on it. And what did it take to get rid of it? The devil's been Etch-a-Sketching you, giving you a picture that he wants you to think is your reality. He's giving you a picture that he wants you to think is real. Baby, one shake from the Holy Ghost, one shake from God will erase everything. You'll be able to say that wasn't real. He'll make you think it's real. Somebody needs a shaking today.
Yes, sir.
Somebody needs a shaking today. If that's you, you ought to meet me in this altar. Don't let the day pass you by. Don't go to sleep another night
Yes, sir.
without having God on your side. You ought to come